I'm gonna show you what I do for my guitar tone on all of my videos. I do very similar things on all of them. So I like to keep it pretty simple for myself, otherwise it gets overwhelming for me. So this is what I do. The first thing is the guitar plugin that I am using. This is Archetype Rabea from Neural DSP, but you can use anything really. There's a lot of free ones that probably sound as good or better. Obviously you need an audio interface to connect your guitar. That's the main thing, but once you have it, that's good. The first thing that I like to do is to put a default preset, and this is the default no, hold on, this is not the default preset. Okay, this is the default preset, and I will disable the delay, and then I like to put the distortion channel and see how it sounds. Sometimes it sounds really good and I just leave it like that, and I make a video and I call it a day because I like how it sounds and I just want to make music. So let's see how it sounds. I like to keep it super simple, so there's only three things that I think about. The first one is how much gain there is. The second one is the bass, middle and treble knobs, and the third one is any additional things that I want to put on top of it. So the first thing is the gain. The gain thing is probably the most important thing for me. The more gain you put on your tone, the less clear a lot of things get. When you have medium to low gain, you can choose how much gain you have on one note, because if you play harder, then it will sound like you have more gain, right? So like, if I play softer, it's like all of a sudden I'm rolling the gain down, and I really like that because it gets very dynamic and I can get really cool effects like this. Right, so the harder you play, the more distortion you get, and the better, and everyone likes it, and you get a lot of cool stuff. Another reason that I like medium to low gain is that it sounds more percussive, so I can play. Once I put a lot of gain, there's less differences between every single hit. There is no right answer here. It depends on the genre of music that you're writing and also in your personality. The second thing that I like to do is EQing and using the bass, middle and treble knobs. So right now it sounds really cool, and I want to just make sure that there's not too much bass on my guitar, especially when you palm mute. If you try palm muting and it sounds all muddy and like it starts clipping and stuff, then usually you can lower this a little bit. So let's see how it sounds. I feel like it's clipping so much, like you can hear. I do this. There's still a little bit, but that's probably enough. I feel like this is really comfortable and I could make a video with this. The reason I don't do a lot of things to my tone is that you are only hearing to my isolated guitar, so I can get away with a lot of things. So far, if you're not happy with the tone, we can still do things to it. So for example, if you put an overdrive pedal, and a lot of plugins nowadays come with like a distortion pedal that you can activate. And then what this does is that it changes the EQ of the tone. This, for example, makes it brighter, and it usually does. So it has the drive on 0 so that it's not adding a lot more gain. I think just a tiny bit, and it is coloring the tone. And that's pretty much most of the things I do. I think that's all I do, to be honest. I tweak the gain and I tweak the EQ a little bit. This time I didn't need to do much, and then I like this distortion pedal on top of it because it colors the tone very nicely, but it's very It's not a lot of difference, to be honest. I'm happy with this tone. I know I haven't done anything really, but I don't know what to tell you. That's all what I do for my videos. And my camera just died because I've been talking about this and I've been thinking, well, what else could I do? But honestly, that's all that I do. I forgot to mention my noise gate settings. I just leave it barely on so that it gets rid of the background noise when you're not playing. I do it this way because sometimes I like to play really quiet notes, or maybe some of those percussive notes might be quiet and I don't want the gate to mute them or something. So that's why. So at this point you can use this if you want to do some final tweaks, like more fine EQ than these 3 knobs. You can do it with a more advanced EQ like this. In my case, I'm not using it at all. Sometimes I would use a graphic EQ on my DAW when I'm recording with drums or more instruments, so that way I can get rid of a few things that might clash. Right now, this is what I do for my videos. I feel like I can express myself really well. I can play the chords that I want to play, and I can play the techniques that I like, and it sounds super clear, and that's why it works for me. A lot of these simple tones are on my Patreon, and I will see you soon. Bye.